All right, so the first thing I want to talk about today is scaling, okay? A major part of CrossFit that is overlooked is scaling. A lot of people feel like maybe they're cheating, maybe they're not going to get anywhere if they're only doing that weight, for example. But CrossFit workouts are actually scaled to preserve the intent of the WOD despite limitations such as experience, injury, illness, or range of motion. And that's why some people are terrified of CrossFit, but we say it is for everybody, okay? It really can be done for that. So what that means is we do a progressive development scaling when somebody's starting from nowhere or where you are now and wanting to build up from there, okay? So a properly scaled workout safely maximizes relative intensity, so load, speed, or range of motion, to continually developing increased work capacity despite any limitation you have, okay? So while you are injured, or while you have a niggle, or while you're pregnant, while your pelvic floor isn't good, you can still come and work out, okay? All those things. So quality of movement forms the base for developing strength and ability. So without these aspects, every further movement will simply result in poor form and a risk of injury, okay? We've probably all been there, okay? Or know that, gone past that point and have to come back from that. But, one of the long-term goals, I think, for a lot of people, not all of us, would be, though, to perform a workout as prescribed, yeah? So in doing that, how can that happen? So the first thing is your coaching, okay? We're here to help support you, all right? We're here to help understand how you're moving, how you're feeling, and help you make those decisions. You don't have to do them on your own. So we're here to keep you safe, teach you properly, and teach you the importance of executing the movement safely and efficiently for the most effective results, okay? So we're telling you to pull back on a weight. It's not because we don't think you're capable, it's because the focus of that workout that day might be technique to be able to help you move forward in that day, okay? If you do feel something that isn't right, this is the most important thing, let us know, okay? Pushing through something isn't the way to go, okay? You don't want to come back and then go, oh, I hurt my back on Monday and now I can't move and I need to put my membership on hold. At that point, we need to stop and pause and work on that then. Adjust or change or rest or ice or whatever that thing going on will be, okay? We are here and we love it. Despite what you might think, as coaches, we love being challenged. So providing a scaling option for everybody here, even if it's 10 people out of a class of 12, is what we're here to do, okay? If you really are worried, you can approach us prior to class or via email or any other kind of method, and we can do a cheat sheet even before you actually go into a class if you might be a bit more embarrassed or that type of thing. So please contact us. But as a coach, safety does come first. So good mechanics of the movement always comes first. You should be able to repeat it consistently and continuously before adding any intensity. So that intensity is like the amount of reps, the load, like adding on weight, okay? Any niggle, though, that is continuing on should be addressed by a professional, okay? I have so many people coming up to me, my shoulder hurts here, why is it happening? I don't know, okay? And as we all know, as coaches, where we get taught as personal trainers is that from your back of your head to the bottom of your foot, you have myofascial ligaments and muscles is all attached, okay? It could be your heel that is causing your shoulder to actually hurt. So you don't always address that, okay? So please go get checked, okay? The other thing is that if you have pelvic floor issues, don't push through that. That needs to be addressed. We can totally limit what you're doing in class because that can be an ongoing problem in future, and pregnancy. So we watch you through pregnancy if you have ab separation, because that is something that might not come back afterwards if you don't take care for it during pregnancy. So those two are really important things, okay? The most biggest thing for every single person that walks in here, though, is to leave your ego at the door, okay? It's hard for some people, but no one will expect you to walk in here and do the workout exactly the same as anybody else in here, okay? If you stop for a moment and look around, no one's looking at you, for one thing, and everyone's doing their own thing, okay? If an athlete RXs an entire workout without terrible form, then they haven't really RXed the workout at all. They've completely bypassed the benefits it was supposed to offer, and they've put themselves at a greater risk of injury, okay? Scaling correctly will increase work capacity more efficiently than attempting to complete workouts as prescribed before you're ready for them, okay? Accurately lowering the weight and achieving a faster time will actually result in a higher level of power over time, okay? So what we also must do, moving on now, is prevent, okay? You need to treat yourself, okay? I know people, maybe mums especially don't, and I can't spend the money on me, not on the kids. You have to. You might not think you're an athlete, but if you're coming in here more than 3 times a week, 12 months of the year, so you need to go and get regularly checked, okay? So if it's a massage, if you get adjusted at a chiropractor, you just go see a physio to check up on yourself, look at your mobility, an acupuncturist, you can go to P3 recovery and have a hot spa. You can even just put Epsom salts in your own bath and just have those muscles release in some magnesium, okay? Do it at least every 6 weeks, every week if you want to. Just choose something, okay? It's really important. You've got to honour that body that you're thrashing out here on the floor, okay? The other big thing that a lot of us don't do, and we do talk about NEAT a lot of the time, but you really want to do a big, long recovery endurance session, okay? And that session is not getting your heart rate up. You want to be able to hold a conversation with somebody without being out of breath in this moment, okay? What you're going to do is either run, ride, swim or row, and you're going to work on your technique with this, okay? So you go slow, think about what you're doing, think about how you're breathing, think about how your posture is, how your body moves, and mentally focus. It is a massive mindfulness session, okay? You can walk along, think about you in the environment, look at the trees. It's just amazing to just do that and not think anything else. You're not trying to get your heart rate up, you're not trying to get this done, you're not thinking planning what you're doing for dinner, you're just focusing back on you, okay? The other 2 things, and we'll talk about them a bit later, is mobility and activation. So mobility is the myofascial release and lengthening of your muscles, and the activation is activation drills, so for muscles that you want to utilise actually in class when you're doing that specific exercise. So I'll talk about that a bit later. All right. Next part is injury, okay? When we are injured, we want to maintain, and this is funny, and or improve your fitness, okay? The whole idea of being rehabbed is bringing you back to exceed your level of performance once fully recovered, okay? Alongside an allied health professional, we can incorporate their instruction to avoid or to reintroduce your movements, okay? We have physios that send us letters if you go and see them, and if you see someone, ask your physio to contact us or your chiro, whatever it is, and we can have that conversation with them on the phone. It's not done a lot these days, but we really should, and your allied health professional should really do that with us, okay? What our main focus is to continually have you develop while you're unable to use, say, a limb or restrict your movements, okay? We wish to divert the focus and purpose away from your injury, but still work on the intensity, variance, and functionality, okay? Injuries are a blessing in disguise, I like to say, but I can say that because it's in hindsight. And maybe some of you might think that too, maybe you, Trev, because of what you've gone through. Maybe you focus on your skipping and you might have improved over that time you were limited on your shoulder. I saw you trying, okay? It was good, all right? So really you can take something negative and turn it into something measurable and valuable. So the 3 things I like to say is that the advantage of doing something means your injury will actually heal quicker. You will acquire skills and strengths that you would not have developed otherwise, okay? And the mental anguish that sticks with the downtime is lessened, okay? That's a big one there, okay? So a lot of the times we come across is the limitations when we have an injury, okay? Only you are limited by your desire to improve, okay? There's nothing worse than sitting at home for months waiting to be back to 100% and feeling sorry for yourself, okay? I have been there. I've done it watching you all work out. It does take a lot, but you have your good and bad days as well, and you're going to feel that way, but still coming up and doing something is going to be better than nothing, all right? If you want to get over your injury, you need to keep working with what ability you do have and just keep moving, okay? Next is patience, okay? We are here to encourage you to take time with your work, not against it, okay? Know the importance of rebuilding slowly. Overall, this will have a longer lasting effect and prevent re-injury. If you try to rush back into the exercise, you may be delaying the healing process. Speaking from example, okay? Not sure what was going on with my shoulder, decided I'd do some things, and something else is going on now, okay? So I am leading by, don't do what I did. All right? What is important is how aware you are of your body and how it feels before, during a workout, because you're going to have good days and bad days, and you need to go, all right, I feel good, I'll push it today. Other days it's a bit inflamed, I'm going to back off and work on another focus or area, okay? Be kind to your body, take care of it, and allow it to heal and recover, okay? RX is not important, and whether you've got an injury or not, it's not something that everyone should always fight to achieve, okay? Even every athlete should come in here and go, I feel great today, I'm going to RX. But every other day of the week, back it off a bit, okay? Because if you RX every day, you're just putting your body sometimes to that extreme, okay? We do program really well in that sense, but, you know, choose those days, all right? Now, we're going to talk about modifications, all right? So as I said, you can remove a limb and completely work on a different exercise or something, okay? Or we can look at a movement and change its purpose. So I've got an example of burpees, for example. You might want to, nobody really wants to work on them, but, okay? So you can't do them because of your shoulder, yeah? So you might actually want to work on that to improve your burpees, even though your shoulder can't do the press. So a suggestion would be to get you to go into a plank hold. So you're doing that static hold and you're pressing through your shoulder, so you're building all the strength in that area, but you're going to do mountain climbers. Going to help you with that core and that movement of the extension of your legs, plus it's still going to be cardio, okay? If you don't want to do that at all, you just want to work on that cardio, then we can put you on the bike or get you to skip, okay? All right. Does anyone have any questions or suggestions or about anything that they have? No?
I know I'm a walking injury, but like sometimes like I know I can do burpees, but I couldn't squat and I couldn't do anything because of my hip shoulder.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So, but you became my friend really on this. But
So,
then you get better on the bike.
you do. Well, that's another thing. So like, I think a lot of people come in here. I had a guy just started recently. He said his chiro said, I'm ready to come back to exercise, but I'm not allowed to deadlift, okay? You know, we pick up stuff off the floor all the time, so we're deadlifting. So really what we want to teach is how to deadlift properly, okay? Making sure you're activating and using the right muscles when you actually do that deadlift, because you do want to be able to pick your chart up off the floor, you know, or the groceries or anything like that, and do it properly. Okay. Another one is people go, I can't squat. Well, how did you get off the toilet this morning? You know, you were squatting, you're getting in and out of a chair, you need to squat. Maybe you don't have full depth, that's okay, but we can do a high squat because you still need to learn how to use those muscles, okay? You know, you can't snatch because of your shoulder, you can't go anything overhead. Well, we can nail those cleans, okay? Clean still bothers your shoulder. We've got a kettlebell swing to Russian height to still work on that hip and that thrust extension, or even just deadlift, work on that first part of the pull, so that when you can, if you can get back to that movement, you're going to have all that part nailed. All we're going to do is work on that catch, you know, in that quarter squat there, okay? As I said, pelvic floor is not to be ignored, and that everyone can do everything in here. We just remove the jumping, you know. A step up is just as good as a box jump, and there's different types of things other than skipping to get your heart rate up to remove that while you're working on improving that there, okay? And as I said, we can create a cheat sheet for you. In fact, we're going to put some together. There was just so many movements, Shannon and I, at the moment while this came up, that we haven't had that time to kind of do that. And we might put a few examples up there of major movements and what you can swap it to. If today you're like, my lower back's feeling a bit tight, what should I do? My shoulder's not so good, I don't want to go overhead today. So we'll have that up there for you.
I know with yesterday's workout, like, I prepared for everything except the things that actually did me in, where the things I didn't prepare for. But like, doing butterfly sit-ups, I couldn't do it like this, but doing it like legs spread
So you
out.
limited your range,
Yeah.
of your limitation there, and that helped,
Well,
yeah.
I don't know.
And they're the things like, even mid-WOD, you're like, oh, that doesn't feel good. Call us over, like, can you help me? Like, that doesn't feel good, but I still want to work on my abs. Like, we can help you. Yeah, it's very important. Yeah, not to push through that. Yeah.
Yeah, and also like when I had the cracked ribs, and I obviously would do sit-ups, like, I mean, leg raises are hard.
They are.
Like, it may be because my legs are like tree trunks or whatever else, but like, I was just trying to like bring them up, like slow and down without like feet touch, but like by 10, I was like,
Yeah, because you don't do that. So then you've just worked on your lower abs, and you wouldn't have done that if you hadn't cracked your ribs. See,
yeah,
you worked on something
Yeah,
new,
so-
developed a new skill. Yeah.
yeah. Well, I probably lost it now.
How do you tell the difference between, and this is probably a stupid question because you can't really tell me the answer, but how do you tell the difference between an injury and just sore muscle? So, she had a laugh when I said that.
Oh, she was.
You're not injured. Is
That's okay. It's different. It is different, and it would be continually and constant. It might be worse after you work out. It might be affecting your sleep. You might be tight. You might be weak in an area. That's when I say, like, I'm about to go into what if you don't know what's actually going on and this is hurting me. So most of the time, acute trauma is not the cause of an injury. I mean, that's the obvious one. You know, when I fell off the box and bashed my knee, well, I've done my knee, haven't I? But, you know, my shoulder, it just happened and appeared. I don't know what's going on. So I've been seeking professionals to help me, and we've been modifying and working along with that. So a lot of it happens because of your pathomechanics, which is the mechanics of displaced bones and tendons. So, for example, your patella is like a big one. You know, your knee doesn't sit in the right spot. You've got arthritis there because it's rubbing, okay? And that happens because you might have always stood with your flat feet and you're rolling in. So your biomechanics of your body is already not in a good position, and you've been like that all of your life, okay? So you've got that happening. It's not actually an injury, but it is an injury, but it's not an acute traumatic injury. It's just happened over time with misuse. And then you have past injuries. So, like, you know, you might have played netball, same thing. Now my knees hurt, so I can't do squats because my knees hurt because I've done that back in my day, you know. And then there's poor movement as well. So you might have tightness, for example. People have, you know, their chest rolls in, so they've got sore lower backs because their shoulders are rolled because tightness in. People go, oh, I've got bad posture. You've actually probably got tightness in your chest because you've been sitting like that and your body repositions itself. Everyone change their posture then. Or people might have a lower back, you know. Might be an injury, but it might just be weakness in your glutes, you know. So working on your glutes and that activation is going to take that, you know, sore, which might not be a slip disc that you think it might be in your back. So it's not an injury, it is that. So that's why I would say listen to us and listen to your own body. And then if you are worried, then seek other advice, yeah? And then you have bad movement habits, so posture, you know. We all do it, I do it. I've been taught how to do it.
A lot of the acute injuries, like if you just did something wrong or twisted a certain way, it's usually sharp pain. And like it'd be like I know I used to work at the land and where they used to stack some of the stuff in the cool room, you actually had to go inside on, twist, lift up and over, which to do that with a slab you shouldn't actually do. But like a few times I injured myself getting stuff in and out of there, and like I think it's like different to like muscle pain or whatever else, because like with muscle pain usually like it subsides, but like with the other ones usually it's, I think it's often quite acute, or if like I know there's been times I go to lift something, it's usually at home or whatever, and you go lifting, you're like, whoa, set your back first and everything like that.
So misuse or overuse is still causing an injury, not just acute trauma.
Yeah.
So, which would bring me back to everybody can be rehabbed, because rehab exactly is any activity that aims to reduce pain and discomfort. Okay, whether it comes from an allied health professional or from your personal trainer, we're here to help you with that as well. So whether you have an injury or not, even before you come in here or while we're watching you, we're doing a risk assessment. So we're watching when people first come in for their elements, or we're watching you in here. You might have a new movement where you haven't done it in a while. So we're risk assessing you, okay? You can risk assess yourself. After that, we do an evaluation of functional movement. So for example, that time where people might be squatting and their knees are coming in and they've said their knee has hurt before. So we're just going to look at their biomechanics, okay? Are they tight in their adductors, their glutes, their ankles, where it might be coming from that might be having them to do that, you know, their back, the way that they have their interior tilting their pelvis. And then we would look at, so it's actually rehab, this is really cool. from a course that I'm doing. I thought it was really clever, actually breaking up what rehab is and how you should do it. So the risk assessment, the evaluation, of course, see where it's coming from. Then we're doing hands-on loosening techniques, and that's where mobility comes into place. I'm a big one on this, okay? I can tell the difference in my body when I am doing it or not doing it. I have this little, it's called Limber 11, this easy little, Joe DeFranco his name is, and I'll put it up on the Facebook page, that if you want to do something just before you come in because you don't know what to do, it basically breaks it down for you, okay? It loosens up your quads, your hamstrings, your glutes, your chest, your back, all these areas, your thoracic part, top of your spine, all these things that will actually help you move a lot better in class. So you can do it before, you can just do it at home when you wake up in the morning if you're feeling a bit stiff. It doesn't take long. And I used to do it all the time when I did weightlifting as well, because, you know, hopping on a rower for 5 minutes is not a warm-up, okay? You need to do this. So what we're doing with hands-on loosening techniques is the myofascial release and the muscle lengthening. So that's what mobility is, okay? Where it's not saying tight, because if I'm going to be tight and do some bicep curls, it's not going to do anything, okay? I need to elongate that muscle so it's got that full range of motion, and then I'm going to get that full range of motion when I'm doing that. That's going to help me utilise and build strength in that muscle there, okay? Following that, and also to do before class, is activation and retraining drills, okay? So activation is basically bringing awareness into a muscle. So say, for example, you've got a sore lower back and we're thinking, all right, we watch you squat, you're doing a butt wink in your squat, that's probably what's causing it. Your glutes aren't fired, they're not switching on, okay? So we would get you to maybe put some bands around your legs and do some crab walks, so walking side and thinking about my glutes, I'm gonna think about them and I'm gonna feel them, okay? And then you take that band off, you go back to squat and you feel that difference and you go down and up, okay? I know a lot, Shannon probably knows a lot of those different things. The lock one that Shannon does for your lats now that we do, that little fly away one, that's a really good one, but there's a lot of other things you can do. You can come and see us. It's really good to do in between sets when you're warming up as well as when you're actually working out. I did a skills session one day where I got everybody to squat without doing anything, and then we did a whole lot of activation, like donkey kicks in our glutes, and then squatted again, and how you can feel it more. You'll also feel it more the next day, okay? Because you've utilised that muscle to its maximum capacity because you've switched it on, okay? Yes, and then what you're doing is bringing that into your normal training, like with your squats, etc. Okay, and then what we're doing is we're blending it into life and training. So not only now have you learnt these things, you might have done it just to rehab an area, you might be just doing it because you want to go top to toe, or want to look amazing and feel amazing, but bringing it into life, okay? My biggest thing for all of this, when I used to coach ladies, is how you clean your house, especially your bath or your shower, okay? You are going to squat down and you're not going to twist your back. You're going to use your legs and those arms and, you know, and keep it straight as soon as you twist or do something, because that's when you cause an injury. It wasn't in here. You know, I refuse to believe that sometimes people do an injury in here. It's out there, okay? You go to pick up a coin and you just bend that back like this, like a hunchback, and you pick up, you're, oh, done my back. That little twist, the big common one, if you have younger kids, they throw a toy and you have to set a lights because they're crying, oh, I'll get it, I'll get it, I'll get it. And you're reaching back and you're like, oh, done my back, okay? Stop the car and get out and pick that toy up. Don't be stupid, okay?
I literally, which I thought this was hilarious, I walked a resident out and I said, come and sit on the chair here, and I tapped the seat. Like, I couldn't move. I was like, had to get someone there, and they watched the security footage and they're like, you literally like did a teapot.
That tip, yep, that's all it is.
That's
yep.
all it was, and I literally, I
Yep.
could hardly move.
Yeah, those sorts of things will happen. So that's when you blend it into life. And that's what CrossFit is. It's functional fitness, okay? We're teaching you how to deadlift and pick up a ball safely, because when you move somebody's house or you want to pot a plant in your garden, you're doing it the right way, okay? You're picking your kids up the right way. You're bending down. You're doing all that sort of thing. So that's what all this is. That's why we do it here. That's why we move in 3 degrees. We're not stuck in machines, okay? And that's what's really important. And that's why we should warm up thinking of that too. So the loosening and the activation was what we want to do there, okay? So, the next big thing is what you don't think about that may be causing injuries is your breathing and your posture, okay? If I become a breather in my chest, I'm going lifting up high my chest, I am loading up the top of my body and I'm stressing out my shoulders and all that, overloading it, okay? If I've got my head sticking forward, I'm just all of a sudden, I've seen a picture, do you know how much a human head weighs compared to your body? I should have looked up the percentage, but as soon as you put it off at that little angle, you're just causing all this extra stress on your neck instead of having it stacked nice and tall. Think of doing an overhead squat and holding it out there. That's what you're doing to the rest of your body if you're not got your head in that right position, okay? So with your posture, what you want to do is make sure you're standing with your weight 50-50 on each leg, 50-50 in the middle of your foot, okay? Next you want to do is make sure we're not tilting out back, okay? Our hips are down, so that drill that we do give, okay? Like pushing in, I said, and then you want to make sure that your breathing is in your belly, and I'll show you how to do that in a sec as well. We do it a lot in class, okay? And then relax your shoulders, okay? I know they go shoulders back, and we're all going, huh, and squeezing our scaps, but all we're doing is stressing our back, okay? You just want to relax and have them sitting in a nice plane, okay? Relax, okay? And then your neck. So I got told not to be a snob. I think it's because I'm short, not because I'm being a snob, because my head is up, you know, and also don't be too shy, so don't have your head down. So just always just look, you know, look straight. We don't need to pull our chin in because we're not all going to walk around like that and look silly. It's a bit hard to do, so you just want to hold it there. When you've got that neutral position, your body is then not stressed, okay? What it does is it keeps your bones and joints in the correct position, so all your muscles are being used properly, so we're not overusing them. It's not going to fatigue you, especially if you're going to go for a run and you don't know how to hold your posture when you're running. You're going to get tired over time. Your lower back's going to get sore, you're going to get shin splints because that movement's in there. So if you know how to hold your posture in your movement, then that's going to help you not fatigue so early as well. So if you were doing a marathon, you had bad posture, you're not really going to last. Yeah? You might be able to do a good 5K, but that ongoing is not going to happen. Okay? It helps reduce your wear and tear of your surfaces, so stopping that arthritis in your knees. You know, if you know how to hold yourself properly. So I'm not rolling in, I'm now 50-50, so my knees aren't that much pressure in there, okay? And then of course it's going to prevent backache and muscular ache. You know, backache's the one big thing with our posture that we suffer from there, okay? With that standing, we take that to our sitting, okay? And that includes driving, all right? We don't want to be squeezing back. You want to be in that neutral rest position. And we don't want to be locking those hands out on that steering like this. You're just loading everything up as well. You want to relax and hold that. Was it 10 and 2? You're meant to hold the steering wheel or whatever and just relax, okay? Is it something? Changing it on everybody? I haven't gone for my driving test in a long time. Yeah. Yes, yes. That's it. Be mindful of your body. Be kind to it.
Mine's down here on the bottom.
I don't know what you're driving.
And car seats are so good these days, yeah, that you can set your seat all the right way so you're not having to full extend there or lay back, you know. But you know, so your back is against the seat. You are meant to have a natural curve in your spine. We always laugh at those little lumbar things, but if you need to, roll a towel up and put it behind you. Do that at home when you're sitting at the dining table or studying as well if you don't have a good chair there. If he's listening. Yep. That's all right, just checking it. Yep, it's going. Yeah, I'm alive. All right. What was I going to say?
Driving.
Yep, driving. Because sitting, yeah. And that breathing as well, making sure when we're sitting we're not breathing up here. Okay, so while we're all here, we're just going to do a breathing drill. Okay, the best thing to do is basically, you can sit and do this, you don't have to stand, and you can lie down and do it too. Lying down and doing it and practicing, it's really good. We want to do diaphragmatic breathing, I think that's how you say it. So making sure we're breathing through that diaphragm. So the best thing to do is actually just put your hand on your chest and your hand just underneath your ribs there. And when you want to breathe in through your nose, big, you don't want to feel your chest go up, but you want to feel your diaphragm expand. Okay? Yep. Same when you're going to breathe it out through your mouth. Your chest shouldn't collapse. It just should be your diaphragm. Okay? Sometimes hard. I struggle to be able to concentrate and do that. Yeah. It's going to make a big difference to how you hold yourself and your posture. Do it. If you start to do that a few times a day, or just before you go to bed at night, it's like everything. It will become something you naturally do. Okay? A lot of people do breathe up here. We forget, unless you play a musical instrument, you forget that you're meant to breathe through into that area there and push it into the bottom. I like to say when you're here, breathe into your hips. It's kind of a good cue, but just make sure you're not breathing up there. That should not rise and fall. It should all be here. It should be expanding through here. Yep. All right.
I know, like when I did ballet back in the day, they're like, you have to suck everything in, and so you have no choice but to breathe through your chest.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even though I don't do that anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. But we don't want to do that. Okay. While you're lying down, another thing is lying, okay? Your sleep is a big thing. You don't realise what you're doing at night and how it can affect your body for the rest of the day, okay? Most important thing is your pillow. Whether you sleep on your back, your side, or the other side, or on your tummy, whatever it is, your spine should be staying neutral, okay? It should not be on a curve, so your pillow should not be under your shoulder, it should sit in. And I would reassess your pillow every so often, because even the really expensive ones go bad after a while and you need to change them, okay?
So there's something wrong with two pillows, is that what you're saying?
Unless they're two flat ones, but if your head's doing, like, you know, tell me, show what your head shouldn't do. Like that.
What?
Yeah, you're doing that like that, or on the side and it's going like that. You're going to wake up.
I sleep.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
Do you sleep like that? That's bad.
Yeah. So, you know, you wake up, I've had a crap sleep. Of course you have, because your spine wasn't neutral and your body's actually getting tired because it's using muscles it shouldn't be when you should be resting, you know. So you try and eliminate that so you have a good night's sleep, okay? And the other two things about posture that we don't think about is actually getting out of a chair and getting out of bed, getting out of your car, or getting off the toilet, is how to actually get up, okay? So when we do, we want to sit down. And when we are seated as well, other than standing, we want that 50-50 in our feet. You want your feet on the floor. So if your feet can't touch the floor, especially when you're studying or something, you want your feet up somewhere where they are. You should try and get your knees at right angles, okay? Car's a bit different. I know I'm a bit short, so that doesn't always happen, but, you know, if you can. You want to make sure that we're not doing this and that it's like leading with your hips and your head. So we're not doing this. That's not how we get up, okay? So you actually want to place your feet. Think about what we teach here. Feel the pressure in the middle of your foot and push through the floor to stand up, okay? Use those quads. Just practice it. Every time you get up, be mindful of it, because other you start doing this, head's out of position again, your lower back is compromised, and getting out of the chair one day you might go, what? Down my back. You know, it can happen. Just like picking something up, yeah? Same with lying. When we're lying down, what you're meant to do is kick your feet to the side, okay? Swing them over the bed, push yourself up so you go to the side, and then do the same thing. Out of the car, don't open your hips and step out. Twist, okay? You've got to actually turn around, put your feet back down and stand up as you get out the car door. So those little things, little habits that, you know, help you when you're out on the outside as well. Prevention. Yeah.
It helps you also, this sounds really terrible, but from an aged care point of view, like, it actually helps because a lot of elderly people lose that ability to get themselves up, especially from toilets or whatever else,
Yep.
where they have to grab and then they do that head, hip,
Yep.
grab whoever's in front of you, yourself
Yeah,
up.
and we forget to do that. So people say I don't know how to squat. You're pushing through your toes, going upstairs and things like too. It hurts my knees. We'll go through the middle of your foot, use your glutes and your quads to get up. Yeah, so all those sorts of things. Yeah. Any questions? That's kind of it. Took a lot quicker than I thought. Sorry if I spoke too fast. Yeah, but yeah, that's about it. But yeah, just come and ask. It's the biggest thing.
Sorry, just going back,
Mhm.
sort of writing down quickly, just the prevention.
Yep.
Yep. So, you said about, did you call it a nick?
Niggle.
Niggle.
What do you mean? If you've
So
got
you
it.
said like some days you should do like a run or a row.
Long endurance recovery.
Long injury.
Yeah, yeah. So pretty much,
That was actually alert.
yeah, sorry.
Alert.
A long endurance recovery.
Yeah.
Did you like?
you
I didn't shorten it, no. You can. Alert.
It's fine, it's a hot day. See, a long day.
And that could be a walk or a run, did you say?
Or a row or a swim.
Or a swim.
Could be a hike. Whatever it is. You know, their focus isn't intensity. It's just being aware of your body, posture, breathing, mindfulness, understanding your body, and just, you know, letting it go for we've got a car that has good fuel efficiency, right? And if you go on short trips all the time, it runs that much, right? So you need to take it for a good long drive so you get the most out of the fuel. Yeah, that's what you're doing to your body. Yeah, every now and then it needs a nice long drive, you know, bit of scenery, that type of thing, so it knows how to do those short, sharp, sweet little trips that you do throughout the week. Yeah, and that's what that is. Yeah.
And because it triggers the like mindfulness and everything,
Yeah.
it's like that helps with the patience and everything else
Mhm.
to be able to then, well, I think it does, to hit everything else
Yep.
because you
And
have
then-
that time for like,
Yep. And if you've done it like with Shannon's time audit and management and found some white space there, you book that in, you know. I would say that would be, you know, a thing you can control and you should do once a week. Yeah.
So that could be on the assault bike and a gentle
Yep.
rate.
Absolutely. People that sit up the back there and just slowly row.
What do you love at, Terry?
If you think that that's what you want to do.
What's that 30 classes?
that's how Teddy does it. Yeah. And you talk to people like Big Time or George or Stu that were doing those swims in the morning. And Tammy, it makes a big difference when you remove them, doesn't it?
Stopped in the
Yep.
last month and a half.
Yeah.
before Holidays.
Yep.
My recovery is terrible.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
you're talking about like with the scaling and you're like, I can't remember exactly what the question was, but you were talking something about like, you know, sometimes scaling down lighter weight, like, but smashing it out. Is it, does that still build?
Yes, build strength and power over
by-
time. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
Because if you think of it, if you really want to do it like we did, I said to someone the other day, if you say did 10 rounds of 10 squats, and it was you did like 20 kilos in a in an MRAP amongst everything else, then you've done 200 kilos, right? But if in that MRAP you only did like 5 rounds and you did like of 10 and you did what the prescribed weight was and it was 42.5, you haven't got as much as everything else, but you've done the same weight. That makes sense?
Yeah.
You've moved the same weight.
Well, isn't there, like, you push yourself to go heavier to
Yep.
gain strength,
Yep.
as opposed to being more in your comfort zone and holding.
There's a time, and Shannon will be one who does that, and I and all the coaches that come up to you and go, I think you can put some more on, yeah? we can put some more weight on. I think you can RX it, okay? We're not joking, that's when we know we can push you, right? And go that. But then when we're up the front of the class and I would go, sometimes we go, like today, 70-80% of you want RN because we've done sets of 3x6 for a while now and we are building that strength. That's our programming. And then there's bits at the beginning we go, we want you to listen how you feel with your body. The focus is like rate per exertion is actually how you feel. So we might say you want to have at least 2 left in the tank, which means you finish that 6 without struggling for form and you've done it fine. And that's what the focus is, and that's when we'll guide you on that type of thing. And same with the workout. So that's why what we talk about the scaling, and everybody does it, not realising it as well, is that intent of the WOD, and we'll tell you what that is. And then it's what your intent is well, okay? So if you do have an injury or you've had to remove something and like you go, for example, my leg's sore, well, like Kim did, I'm going to nail my muscle ups. And she did it with a bloody boot thing on, and she did, and she became big and strong with that. Yeah. With the boot, So that's how she scaled something. She focused it on another area. For example, with my shoulder at first I can't snatch, but boy, my clean's amazing. I worked on that hip extension, that setup at the bottom of it, that first push of the movement before the catch and that type of thing. So that's what it is. You want to, as I said, you might not be able to do burpees, but you don't want your cardio to go, then let's put something else in there that gets that heart rate up for those short, sharp moments that you can move forward through. Yeah.
Stupid question. Today's what with the load. Because I'm a walking disaster and whatever else, I found that my core is really weak, and so I could push through and do it was over 80% for me was over.
Yeah.
Or whatever else, but I had to have my weight belt from 55 kilos onwards, and I was doing up to 75 kilos. So would I be better off?
If you're okay.
Because it was
Yes.
it was like the back squat or
Depends. You're like, okay, yeah, my core's a bit bad at the moment. I need that extra support. I'm going to put a belt on because I still want to work my glutes or my legs. Well, then that's okay. But normally, yes, you know, you want to use your weight belt as least as possible because you don't want to have to rely on it. I keep kicking drink bottles over. So I would say, yeah, back it off with the weight. Practice on that breathing and that core switching on and activate it again. So it would be an activation drill, okay, working on it before you even went in there. So then when you're retraining it and then blending it into your training, it will just happen again. So you're not just going way too heavy and it's not ready yet. Yeah, because you'll all of a sudden lift more and be stronger because you've worked on that.
Yeah, because like I can lift it through my legs. I was just more worried about face planting.
Yeah.
Hilarious, but still.
Well, the other thing is with that, because you are feeling that way, but you wanted to lift more through your legs, then you could have done a lighter weight, but maybe increase the amount of reps in that time, so you're still moving the same amount of kilos at the end of the day, and that's how that you build that power and strength over time.
Okay.
That's why lifting light and going faster is still getting you somewhere, if that's the intent of what you want to do and what your focus is. Yeah, it's maths. All these angles of posture and that putting your body in a good position or not. So Shannon can overhead squat amazingly because she gets stuck strong and tall, and my poor Matt can't do an overhead squat that heavy because his shoulders are that far forward. He can't, his body mechanics is not letting him. I know. Yeah. So that's the difference in that. You know, Matt's strong and big, but yeah, he can't stack tall. That's his limit there, you know, but he works on that and he gets there, you know, when he has the time and the focus, and he does improve. Yeah. Anything else?
So with the loosening technique
Yep.
and the activation
Yes.
of the training group, like,
Yep.
is there any way we can, how would we know to relate that back to our workout? So the next day.
Look, you know, if you really wanted to get right into it and get regular at it, you can get ROMWOD, and there's another few things where you can actually put the workout of the day in. What's that other one? There's a new one out. Yeah. Oh, I can't remember. I'll find the name of it. And you can put out. You can put. You can,
For someone that's so
I'll find out for you. You can put the name.
Oh, snap. Did you feel that burn? Right, sorry.
I go in early, I get my accessory done,
Yeah.
done before I start.
Yeah. Yeah. When I did
Accessory work includes handstand walking,
kicking balls, yeah. But when I did powerlifting, you know, I would be in there for 2 hours, and 45 minutes is activating. Yeah, that's all I did. Like turn my glutes on before I might even do, you know, 3 sets of 10, and that was all my lift was of that movement. You know what I mean? Like that's what's really important. You get the most out of that. Yeah. But yeah, there's if you want it, there is an app where you can put in the workout of the day of today, and you can know the exact activation to do. You can just come and ask me, or any of the other coaches. You can even shoot me a message if I'm not here that day. This is what we're doing, Kristie. What should I do? I can show you. And then I've got this guy. It's called the Limber 11. So if you just want to do one every day, that makes a big difference. That you're doing top to toe. I will put the link on there too for it. I just think he's one of the nice, easiest, simple ones to do. You use it. All you need is a roller and a ball. So we've got that here. Okay, to do those.
Today, when we were doing the squats,
Yep.
I think I was 30 squats in before I could actually go to the line.
Yes.
So it takes
Yes.
me a bit to...
Yep.
And we've done a really
Yep.
good warm up, and I just...
Exactly. So that's why I'm big on that.
That's why
I
it took
say.
me a long time to come back to Saturday sessions because I know
Yeah.
his warm-ups. I thought, I'm going to do myself an injury because I don't have, like you say, you need to do
Yeah.
the squats
Yes.
before.
If you know, Trevor's the best example there is. He comes in early, he finishes late, he works on his body. Yeah? Yay. Another person, that I should give kudos to is Josh Simoth. Okay? He listened to his body and he's professional, and he limited his movements but focused on everything else. And then as soon as he was given the get-go, he's up doing ring muscle ups again. And he looks amazing. He has not lost anything when he wasn't able to put his shoulders above his head and do those things. Okay? So that's a really person who not only got to where he was with his ability, but he actually far exceeded it in the end because he worked on everything else to help him get there. There's a lot of other people there too. I probably can't think off the top of my head that have done that. Yeah, but yeah, you can learn how to do it yourself with the ball and a roller. very easy. But you know, I'm doing a course that I can actually do some on you if you need me to as well. Yeah. Roll your legs out. Yeah. You probably might not like it. I have to communicate with you and let you know what your pain is feeling because you're meant to only go to a certain level. Just like, do I want Swedish? Do I want, a nice massage? You know when.
You can handle a Swedish.
Yeah. Cool. All good?
Yep.
Yay. Thank you for listening.
Nice talk.
Yeah, thank you.